Alright, so it's time to do a new walkthrough video of the arcade because a few things have changed. I sold a couple pinball machines. The Addams Family and Back to the Future are gone, and then I added a new racing game to the collection. So with everything being moved around from how it was before in my previous walkthrough, I figured it'd be time or be good to go ahead and do a new walkthrough. So that being said, all the machines that were in the previous video are in this one, with the exception of I added a racing game and got rid of 2 pinball machines. So otherwise everything else is the same. So if you've seen my previous walkthroughs and previous showcases, you know what I've got. But because everything is in a different location and moved around, I figured it'd be neat to show the way that it is now. As you can see, I have all the MKs here kind of by themselves. This is my MK wall, if you will. The 4 MKs and then all the memorabilia. There's still a few posters that I couldn't fit on the wall, so they're on the other wall back that way, which I'll get to in a minute. But we got here on the end here where the pinball machines used to be. I only have one, so you'll see where I moved it to. But actually, let me start off properly here. Over here in this little corner is my stand-up Mega Touch machine. So I got that over here kind of by itself out of the way. And then we've got Donkey Kong and Mario Brothers. And then since I made the last video, I got myself an original Donkey Kong guy to sit here between the 2 cabinets kind of sandwiched together. So I kind of like the decor of adding that to there. It's kind of like my Qbert. I have my original Qbert piggy bank on top of the Qbert. So we had Donkey Kong and Mario Brothers, and then Centipede. And on the end here is Defender. And there's plenty of room in between the machines to stand there and play Defender and all that. So of course I moved the Johnny Cage and Richard DeVizio autographed t-shirts. They used to be over there, now they're over here. So, and of course all the autographed 8x10s. There used to be another row down here below. I had to move them over here on the end, of course, because the MK machines are taller, and these machines here used to be here, so I couldn't put those there anymore, so I had to move them to the end. But of course we all know MK1, 2, 3, and 4 here. And Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, Galaga, the Nintendo Versus multi-machine. In case I have any new subscribers who don't know about this, this is a Ms. Pac-Man cabinet that has the official Nintendo Versus conversion kit in it, and it has a computer inside there that if you press and hold either one of these 2 buttons, it goes into the menu here, and I can select any Versus game that there is. These are all the Versus games. I press any one of these buttons again, and it goes to here, and I have every NES game ever made on here. There's like 900 some of them. So I can play all the NES games and all the official Versus games. So, but I always leave Super Mario Brothers running. So that's this machine here, and then of course we've got Qbert. And the multi-Street Fighter, which is just the same as this one. There's a computer inside there. You press and hold either one of these 2 buttons for I think 3 seconds, and then it'll exit out into the menu, and you can actually play every single version of Street Fighter that was released in the arcade is on here. So I have all the Street Fighters, and then of course a bunch of other games that I don't have normally in other machines. So this is basically my main cabinet, but I kept it in a Street Fighter layout. So you can see here it's Street Fighter 0, 02, 02 Alpha, 03. So it's got all the Street Fighters on it. They're all playable and play just fine. And then of course we got other games. Let's see here, like Paperboy, which you can't really play on a setup like this, but it's on here. Mappy, you know, well, this is another game you really can't play on here, but it is playable, but not to the extent of where it really should be. Hook and Gunsmoke and Golden Axe. So this has a bunch of different games on it, but I usually just always leave a Street Fighter, one of the Street Fighters running. Champion Edition will work. So the multi-Street Fighter, and then NFL Blitz 99, NBA Jam, X-Men, and this is another one with a computer inside to run all of the Konami 4-player games. Let's see here, there's a button underneath the control panel here. I hit this button and it goes into the menu. And it's got all the games except, I believe, Cowboys of Moo Mesa, because I couldn't get that one to run properly. But you can see Bucky O'Hare, Sunset Riders, Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, Simpsons, and X-Men. So it's got all the 4-player Konami games on it. And on the end here we've got Gauntlet Legends. And then, of course, these are a couple of the posters I couldn't fit on the other wall. And, you know, these are signed by the Daniel Pesina signed that one, and Carlos signed this one. So you can see here's MK2. And this is the new edition, Rush the Rock Alcatraz. Did a full restoration on this puppy. Tore it down completely, cleaned it inside and out. It was in pretty rough shape when I got it. The gear shift was broken beyond usage. All the switches were bad. The seat was dirty as all hell. The speaker grills, both sides down here, was all rusted. There was rust all over the base plate for the seat. Had to get new T-molding on it. Let's see what else. The abort switch here was missing the internals. It was just a clear red switch, or clear red button. None of the lights worked for any of the views or music. Let's see. I had to change out basically, let me go over what everything I did. I did a full cleanup on the internals and externals. I took all the green plastic parts to the car wash and pressure washed them, got them nice and clean. Redid all the wiring, cleaned it all up. I had to put a new steering potentiometer for the steering wheel because it would sit there and try and search for the null points, so the steering didn't work. New steering wheel pot, new abort switch, got all the lights working for all the other switches. I got a brand new shifter assembly, because the other one had all 4 of the switches were busted for the 4 gears. New button for reverse. Stripped everything down, all that was black, and sanded and painted everything. Got it all looking good. New T-molding. Oh, the machine's going to yell at me here, sorry. I'll let it go through steel. But the last thing was I put in a compact flash kit, got rid of the hard drive, put a compact flash kit in it. But the actual machine came with an LCD. Somebody put an LCD in here. I didn't like the way that it was stretched, didn't like the way it looked, so I put one of my spare 25-inch tri-mode Macvisions in here. So I put a CRT back in it, and it looks phenomenal. So it's much better than that LCD that was in there. So full restoration on San Francisco Rush the Rock, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It works perfectly, looks great, and I'm glad I finally have a racing game to have down here in the collection. So it's looking nice and good and all done. So that's part of the collection now. And then we have the machine Bride of Pinbot, which I've talked about before. Cleaned this one up as best I could. Everything's working great. Not too much detail to go into on that. And a couple more posters here. The MK3 that's autographed by Leah and Brian. And then the other MK4 poster that's autographed by Rich. This one's autographed by Rich, and so is the other one that's over there. So then we have Asteroids. And as you can see, all my machines are fully functional. All of them are 100% operational, so that's good to have as far as not having to worry about getting any of them up and running, because they're all working great, and they've been working ever since I moved them. So I actually moved 30 machines from my old house into storage, out of storage, and down here to the basement, and they all worked before and they all worked after. I didn't have to repair a single one after moving 30 machines from 2 locations. It's pretty unheard of, but hey, it worked out for me. So Space Invaders Deluxe is next on the list here. Simpsons Bowling. Ironically, this is in a Bloodstorm cabinet. This is an original dedicated Bloodstorm cabinet that somebody converted to Simpsons Bowling, which I'm not going to convert it to Bloodstorm because I'll get much more play out of Simpsons Bowling than I will Bloodstorm, which I actually already had a Bloodstorm in a Dynamo cabinet, and I donated it to the Galloping Ghost Arcade, so I have no interest in converting this back to Bloodstorm. We'll leave it here as Simpsons Bowling. And then we have Maximum Force, which I've talked about before, and what all I've done to that. And then here in the middle, I have Double Dragon and Double Dragon 2. I'm happy that I was able to get both of these games, and I was able to put them next to each other in the middle here. So there's still plenty of room in between machines to play, on this side especially, and this side as well. There's plenty of room. So everything worked out great in the layout and power distribution and circuitry and all that stuff. So everything is equally loaded. Don't have to worry about overloading any of the circuits. Got plenty of circuits and all that stuff. So the last two machines are the 2-slot Neo Geo with the 161 in one cart, and the Arkanoid Revenge of Dough. Easy for me to say. The cocktail machines. I have the one cocktail machine. I have the one racer. I've got one pinball machine. So, and I have a nice selection of different genres in the 80s and 90s and newer and older. So I have, in my opinion, a pretty decent collection. So I have room for a couple more machines. I do want to get a Frogger, I want to get a Burger Time, and I want to get a Tetris. Those are the remaining 3 machines I'd like to get to add to the collection. So I'm always on the lookout for those. So you may see 1 or 2 or all 3 of those added to the collection here at some point. So I'm always on the lookout for some of those, or one of those 3. So you may see some of those. But that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, and let me go ahead and turn the light out and do another walk around here with the light out, because it's pretty neat to see them all without the lights. Gotta kill this other one here. I'll make a touch. So that works just fine. Focus. Alright, so there you have it. So I guess thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos when I can get some made, and I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.